Today we're going out to Atlantis to experience what the new water deck can do. Make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more content. So this is a build that I've been wanting to see pop up because you guys know I love Kyroshin, I love Fish Sonar, I love the ideas that previous build was built on for the floodgate control things. Well, what if we were to take that even further beyond here and be able to build a more modern era list around it? This is where the whole concept of the new Atlantis monsters comes in here. And we have a pretty interesting showcase here. So we're going to start things off. We're going to deploy the Fiendish Vortex, which allows us to, on normal or special, we get to dump anything that mentions Atlantis, the city of the Sea Dragon, from the deck. So, I mean, that's not bad. We'll go ahead and get our dump down here, which we're going to go ahead and drop General of the Atlantis. And if this is in the graveyard and you control Umi, we can special summon this card. So, I mean, this is just going to put a free body back on the field here, because remember, all of these new monsters become Umi while in the monster zone. So, it's really funny you're just allowed to be able to fuel all of these extra conditions and things. And then our boy here has now touched back down. So now we can go ahead and declare or play Atlantis Call. We'll get to go ahead and add a monster that mentions Atlantis, the city dragon, or the Atlantis city of the Sea Dragon from your deck to your hand. And of course, if you control Atlantis, the city of Sea Dragon, you negate the effects of one effect monster the opponent controls, which we don't actually have that. But we'll go ahead and get our recruitment here. We're actually going to recruit for another general, because he himself allows us to discard and search for spell and trap cards. So we'll go ahead and dump this. We're going to go ahead and search for probably one of the most important cards in the deck, which is the Advent of Atlantis. This card also becomes Umi while on the field, and then during your main phase, we can place one Atlantis, the city of the Sea Dragon, or an Umi from your deck face up in your field zone, which is going to be very, very important here in a second. So we're going to go ahead and slam this down. We'll go ahead and get our field spell into rotation here. Now, the reason why this deck is so good is because Atlantis works like Legendary Ocean, but it doesn't have the Umi name, but that's fine. So it reduces the level of all monsters in both players' hands and fields by 1. And if you would link summon a Daedalus monster, you can reduce the requirements listed on it by 1 and reduce its link materials by 1, which is going to be pretty good. And then obviously if this is in your graveyard and you control an Umi, we can beam this back on out. So recurability. So we'll go ahead and link 3 into our hand ripping machine, which is really, really funny. On link summon, we get to go ahead and special summon a monster that mentions Atlantis from the deck. So we got a couple triggers coming here. We will get to go ahead and special summon a monster from our hand due to, that's right, you know that nice little monster that we dumped to start chain here? It's sent to the graveyard and you control an Umi, you can special summon a water monster from your hand. So we get to go ahead and bring out Kyroshin here for free. Now we will go ahead and get to beam out the Leviathan of Atlantis himself here. So we will go ahead and trigger Kyroshin, which will go ahead and get us into the Rage of Kyroshin. Now, if Umi is on the field, target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of water monsters you control whose original levels are 5 or higher and destroy them. And if you do, the zones that they were in cannot be used until the end of the next turn. This is a funny little interaction that we can actually use to basically flood the opponent here because, you know, we have Umi on the field. All right, so we're going to go ahead and trigger our big boy here. So we can send up to 3 face-up Umi we control to the graveyard to basically search for things that mention Atlantis, the Sea Dragon, except for level 7 monsters. And then we send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. So this is going to be okay. So we will go ahead and get our recruitment for the counter trap card. That's actually why I like this card, because you're able to get anything that mentions Atlantis, and guess what? This thing mentions it. So this is how you get into your counter trap searcher, which is really, really good. Now, this will go ahead and trigger, since we sent it, it will go ahead and recruit for another copy of Leviathan, which is just fine. Now, we can go ahead and Leviathan to go ahead and bring this on out. Because guess what? We control Atlantis. So this becomes a free special summon from the hand. Also keep in mind, to make the link 4 link 3, it still is going to require the requirements, which are going to be 3 monsters, which you're going to go ahead and see here. You just reduce your requirements. So it's still going to have to come back 3 monsters into it, so this will still count as a link 1. So this thing's going to get to go ahead and beam on out all of our friends back to our field. which you'll go ahead and just see the entire field coming back. Don't you love a link monster that just repopulates the entire field here? Which is exactly why I love this. And then we can go ahead and set our Rage of the Kyroshin and our Daedalus Maelstrom. And, I mean, you're as good as you want to be. The thing is, though, you will have this floodgate control on the field saying, hey, you're not going to be able to control anything that's a non-water up to about 1. So this is a problem. We have the board wipe on this. You know, we have the Disaster Maelstrom and we have the Rage. And we have a funny interaction coming up with this here you're going to love. So we're going to go ahead and pass over to the opponent's turn here. They're going to go ahead and set. They're going to go ahead and trigger the ability of the big guy here. We can target up to 3 cards you control, destroy them, special summon this card from your hand, and then apply an effect based on what it would have been. So it would have been, you know, the ability to destroy one other card on the field. So we're going to go ahead and impulse this. The opponent's going to go ahead and chain up Shavara here, which is definitely a cool thing. But this is actually one of the coolest plays that this deck has. We actually get to chain this during the main phase. We can send 1 face up Umi in control of the graveyard to discard your opponent's entire hand, and then they draw the same number of cards, and neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. What happens when these leave the hand before they can resolve? Well, you're going to find out here. They're going to no resolve, which guess what? We lose all that. We do see this is going to go ahead and attempt to trigger to special summon an Unchained monster. We got some chain ups here. Guess we're going to go ahead and deploy a Fua. May as well, right? We'll go ahead and get the reincarnation of the Unchained loaded up here. And, of course, the big 3K guy is going to come out, right? Because he's going to look at this Kyroshin. He's going to be like, I got to do something about this right now because this is a problem. We're going to go ahead and trigger. We're going to go ahead and hit him with the Rage of Kyroshin to go ahead and be able to destroy the field here. Which will go ahead and wipe that out. And then, of course, we will go ahead and see a Lurie coming on out. They're going to go ahead and do Reincarnation. We're going to go ahead and chain Ash on that. And we're going to go ahead and see the Reincarnation search for the trap card. I mean, this is fine, right? We're not really too worried. They're going to go ahead and attempt to do the thing here. We're going to go ahead and wipe the field. What better way to do so, right? You've now equalized the field. Now, at this point, if the opponent had any more, I mean, like, they would have been able to keep going, but that's not the reality. We see the Aruha coming down, and then the concession from the opponent. Honestly, there's some interesting little things that this list can provide you. I think looking at the generalization of the deck build itself, you know, getting into your normal monsters from back in the day, you have plenty of choices available to you, especially with the Atlantis stuff, providing you with some new little better tools to be able to do things. So I actually do appreciate what this deck can actually do. So what do you guys think about this list? Please, you know, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.